Hello everyone, and welcome to our discussion today. We're diving into a question that touches many relationships. Is it acceptable, sometimes, to keep secrets from your partner? It's certainly a complicated issue, isn't it? We often talk about trust being essential, but what about personal privacy? Where do we draw the line between keeping something private and hiding something important? Joining us to explore this are Sarah, who believes that some level of privacy, maybe even small secrets, can be part of a healthy relationship. And Ben, who argues that complete honesty, sharing everything, is the only way to build true trust. Sarah, Ben, welcome. Sarah, perhaps you could start by sharing your perspective.
Thank you, Alex. It's good to be here. Yes, I believe that while honesty forms the bedrock of any strong relationship, insisting on sharing absolutely everything isn't always necessary or even healthy. We are still individuals, even when we are part of a couple. We need our own space, our own thoughts. Firstly, think about personal privacy. This isn't about hiding wrong actions. It's about having an internal world. Maybe it's reflecting on a past memory that has no real connection to the present, or working through a personal goal you're not quite ready to talk about yet. Sharing every single thought can feel like pressure, not intimacy. It's okay to have parts of yourself that you process alone first. Secondly, sometimes not sharing something is actually an act of kindness. Think about planning a surprise party or a special gift. Telling your partner would completely ruin the surprise, the joy you wanted to create for them. That's a secret kept for a positive reason. Or consider confidentiality. If a friend shares a personal problem with you and asks you to keep it private, respecting that confidence is important. It's not your information to pass on, even to your partner. Of course, I'm not defending major deceptions. Hiding financial problems, infidelity, or anything that fundamentally breaks trust is wrong. That's not what I mean by acceptable secrets, but small personal matters. Things kept confidential out of respect for others, or secrets kept temporarily for a happy reason. I think these can be perfectly acceptable. It's about finding a balance, respecting boundaries, and understanding the intention.
Thanks, Alex and Sarah. I understand the points about privacy and surprises, but I have a different view. For me, the ideal relationship is built on complete transparency. I believe that secrets, even seemingly small ones, start to create invisible barriers between partners. Each secret is like one small brick in a wall. You are consciously choosing to exclude your partner from a part of your life, your thoughts, or your experiences. How does that build closeness? And think about the risk. What happens if your partner finds out later? Imagine discovering your partner kept something from you, even if they thought it was small, or for a good reason. Wouldn't you feel a bit hurt? Wouldn't you start to wonder, if they kept this from me, what else aren't they telling me? That doubt can be very damaging to trust. Trust isn't just about believing your partner won't cheat. It's about believing they share their life with you fully. Sharing everything, the good news, the bad news, the worries, the silly thoughts, that's what builds deep understanding and connection. Facing challenges together, knowing you have the full picture, makes the relationship stronger, not weaker. It shows you are truly a team. So, for me, the path to real intimacy and security in a relationship is through openness. No secrets means no hidden walls, and no room for doubt.
Thank you both for those clear opening thoughts. You've both touched upon the idea of small versus big secrets and this line between privacy and secrecy. Sarah, you mentioned personal thoughts or feelings that don't directly involve or impact your partner as private. Ben, you countered that deciding not to share simply as creating a secret. Sarah, could you elaborate a bit more? How do you differentiate between a personal reflection that's private and something that crosses the line into being a potentially harmful secret?
Certainly, Alex. For me, the key difference lies in the asterisk impact and the intention. Privacy is about my own internal processing or experiences that don't materially affect my partner or our relationship. For instance, maybe I feel insecure about something at work one day. I might think about it, process it myself, and then it passes. It doesn't change anything between my partner and me. Sharing it might just add unnecessary worry for them, or perhaps I reconnect briefly online with an old university friend, exchange a few polite messages about our lives now, and that's it. If it's genuinely platonic and has no bearing on my feelings for my partner, is it necessary to report? A harmful secret, however, is something different. It's information that, if revealed, would likely cause pain, change the dynamics of the relationship, or break trust. It's often hidden out of fear or guilt. Examples include hiding debt, lying about where you were, or concealing an emotional connection with someone else that's becoming inappropriate. The intention behind hiding it is often self-serving, or based on knowing it's wrong. Ben mentioned secrets creating distance. I understand that concern, but I also think demanding access to every single thought or past reflection can feel controlling. Sometimes, processing things internally first allows me to bring a more balanced perspective to my partner later, if needed. True closeness for me includes respecting that your partner has their own mind and history.
I hear what Sarah is saying about intention and impact, but I find that line very blurry and potentially dangerous. Who decides what materially affects the partner or the relationship? The person keeping the secret? That seems risky, as their judgment might be clouded. Take the example of feeling insecure at work. Maybe sharing that insecurity allows your partner to offer support or perspective. Maybe it explains why you seem a bit quiet that evening. Sharing builds understanding. And the old university friend example, that's exactly what I mean by a slippery slope. What starts as, quote, polite messages could evolve. If you're open from the beginning. I chatted briefly with X today online. It normalizes it, removes the secrecy. If you hide it, and your partner sees a message notification later, suspicion can arise even if nothing wrong happened. Why hide it if it was innocent? The act of consciously deciding, I will not tell my partner this, is what transforms privacy into a secret. It creates an us and a them dynamic within the relationship, even if only in your head. I believe transparency avoids this complexity. If it's truly insignificant, sharing it should be easy and casual. If it feels difficult to share, perhaps it's more significant than you think and your partner deserves to know.
This brings us to some practical situations. Let's explore how these different philosophies play out. Imagine a scenario where one partner buys something relatively expensive for themselves, maybe a new camera or a piece of tech. They use their own personal money, perhaps from a bonus or savings they manage separately, but they don't mention the purchase to their partner for a few days or even weeks. They aren't hiding debt, but they are delaying sharing the information, maybe because they anticipate their partner might disapprove of the expense generally, even if it's their money. Ben, how do you see this?
Even if it's technically personal money based on some agreement, I still find this problematic. It suggests a fear of the partner's reaction, which points to a communication issue. Why delay telling them? Is it because you know it might cause tension? If so, that tension probably needs to be addressed through open conversation, not avoidance. Delaying the information feels like hiding. It creates a period where you know something significant, a large purchase, that your partner doesn't. It feels slightly dishonest, even if it's not about shared funds directly. What if the partner finds out accidentally before being told? That immediately creates suspicion. Why didn't you tell me? Partnership, for me, includes sharing major events, and a significant purchase is a major event for most people, even if bought with personal funds. It shows respect for your partner's awareness of your life. Discussing it, even after the fact, shows you value their place in your life. So I'd say tell them soon. Maybe not the moment you walk in the door, but certainly within a day or so. Don't let it become something you're consciously keeping quiet about.
I mostly agree with Ben that if the expense is genuinely large and could cause worry or disagreement, delaying too long is unwise and hints at avoidance. Open communication about finances is crucial. However, I think there can be nuances. If the couple truly has separate finances for personal spending, and the item was within that agreed budget, perhaps the partner just wants to enjoy their new purchase for a short while before mentioning it. Maybe they want to present it casually, not make a big announcement. Is waiting a day or two really a secret in the harmful sense? But let's take another example. What about workplace confidentiality or minor gossip? Suppose you hear that a colleague, whom your partner knows slightly, is having some minor difficulties in their team. It's not dramatic, maybe just office politics. You were told this somewhat privately. Do you feel obligated to report this back to your partner? It doesn't directly affect either of you. Sharing it might just spread negativity or break a small confidence with the person who told you. In this case, I'd argue that keeping it to yourself isn't a harmful secret. It's exercising discretion and choosing not to participate in spreading potentially unnecessary information.
That's an interesting point about discretion versus secrecy. Ben, your reaction to Sarah's example about the office gossip, is there a difference between that and the spending scenario?
I see the difference in direct financial impact, yes. But the principle of openness still applies, in my view. Maybe sharing that piece of office information isn't essential, but what's the harm in mentioning it casually? Heard today that things are a bit tense in X's team. Perhaps my partner has observed something similar, and sharing helps us piece together a better understanding of our shared social or work environment. Or maybe they can offer a perspective that helps me navigate my own workplace relationships. Choosing not to share feels like filtering information for my partner, deciding what they are capable of handling or what they need to know. I prefer a relationship where we share our days, our observations, the small things, as well as the big. It avoids the mental effort of constantly deciding, should I share this or not? The default is sharing, unless there's a very strong reason not to, like a promise of deep confidentiality on a serious matter. Minor gossip feels different. It's part of the daily tapestry of life, and I'd rather share that tapestry with my partner.
Reflecting on our discussion, my position remains that a successful relationship requires a blend of honesty and a respect for individuality and privacy. Not everything needs to be shared immediately, or sometimes ever. The key factors are the intention behind keeping something private, and the potential impact on the partner and the relationship's trust. Secrets intended to deceive, hide wrongdoing, or avoid necessary conversations about shared responsibilities are damaging. But privacy regarding personal thoughts, respecting others' confidences, or keeping positive surprises is different. These aren't about building walls, but about acknowledging that we are whole individuals who also choose to share a life. Trust includes trusting your partner to manage their own internal world and to share what is truly important for the relationship. It's about balance, communication about boundaries, and focusing on the quality of what is shared, rather than demanding every single detail.
For me, the conclusion is clear. The strongest, most resilient relationships are built on a foundation of complete openness and transparency. Secrets, regardless of size or intent, introduce complexity and potential weakness into that foundation. Choosing to hide something, even if you believe it's harmless or private, is still choosing exclusion over inclusion. It risks misunderstanding and erosion of trust if discovered. Sharing everything, your thoughts, feelings, experiences, the minor details of your day, demonstrates the ultimate level of trust and respect for your partner. It says, I want you to know me completely. This level of openness fosters true intimacy, prevents festering doubts, and ensures you are always working as a team with all the information available. It might seem demanding, but I believe it's the simplest and most secure way to build a lasting, happy partnership. A no-secrets approach removes the guesswork and builds a truly shared life.
Thank you both, Sarah and Ben, for sharing your perspective so clearly and thoughtfully today. It's obvious this is a topic with strong feelings on both sides. We've explored the arguments for allowing personal privacy and certain types of secrets, focusing on intention and avoiding unnecessary harm or spoiling positive events. And we've heard the compelling case for complete transparency as the bedrock of trust, intimacy, and a truly shared life. Avoiding the risks of hidden information. Ultimately, there might not be one single answer that fits every couple. Perhaps the most crucial element is communication between partners about their expectations regarding honesty, privacy, and secrets. Understanding what makes each other feel secure and respected seems key. Thank you, Sarah and Ben, and thank you all for tuning in.